Hey folks, here to show you how to glue undermount sinks to your vanity top. We use one of two glues. We're going to use 100% silicone adhesive. We typically stick to GE brand. It's available at any Home Depot, Lowe's, or loctite. If you use the loctite specifically for marble and granite, otherwise you risk it seeping through and staining the stone. You don't need a lot of tools. We use these really basic clamps that we get from Harbor Freight. It's like $5 a clamp, a caulk gun, a board, and some cardboard. The most important thing when you are gluing your vanity top is to clean both the top of the sink and the underside of the slab. Otherwise you're gluing to dust. So the most important thing is to clean really well. Use a rag to really clean up the underside. If you don't clean it well, the sink's just not going to stick. That's the long and short of it. I also like to clean up our sink itself where we're applying the glue. Just get all the dust off of there. Alright, now that that's set, I've got some silicone already charged up in the caulk gun, and I'm going to just give it a fat bead around the perimeter. So in the sink right now I've got one of these clamps, really basic clamps. They slide up and down. So they come apart. I put one end inside the sink and then attach the other side. Now up here I'm going to put on some cardboard just in case so we don't scratch things up. I'm going to put a board right here, and I'm going to lift up the sink, and then I'm going to clamp it down to the board. Now I do some more minute adjustment here. And at this point you want to square up the sink to make sure that the overhang is pretty even on all sides. Alright, so we've got the sink straightened out. All the excess silicone that came out on the inside of the sink just scooped up with my finger, and I put it back on the outside, smoothed out the outside, and really just made sure everything was nice and square. Had to move around the board a little bit. Wiped away as much excess as I could. Whatever excess I can't wipe away, I'll wipe away with later with some acetone. Potentially sometimes a razor blade helps to clean up. But as long as you take care of most of it when it's still wet, you're not going to have any trouble. Alright, so it's been about 2 days since we glued this. One very, very important note is always follow the instructions on the bottle for how long the glue should set. This silicone said 24 hours for 100% cure. So you wait at least 24 hours. We try to wait a day and a half. So we finished this Saturday. It's now Sunday. I'm going to take it off and see how things went. Alright, sink looks pretty good to me. Nothing there. Let's flip it over. So you can see we kind of smeared it across here, and let's do a little strength test on this silicone. This is probably a 40-pound slab. That thing's going nowhere. It's in there forever, unless you take a knife and cut this off. So that's the good thing about silicone, is that if you were to screw this up somehow, you can always just try again by grabbing a knife and cutting off the silicone, whereas you can't do that with the liquid nails or Loctite products.